Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the secret mindset women never admit they want in a man, okay? So if you're wondering if there's any sort of like thing that you can start to apply in your own life to make you more irresistible to women, basically to make you more attractive to women, then there is a mindset that you can adopt. And the cool thing about this mindset is that you can actually exercise it by doing physical action too, okay, in certain ways, in certain areas at least, okay. And basically the secret mindset then that women never admit that they want in a man is self-control. So emotional self-control, sexual self-control, and self-mastery. Okay, this is what they want in a man. Okay, so what does emotional self-control look like then when you're dating women? So emotional self-control is basically where, to put it very simply, is you wait for the woman to bring up emotional topics in regards to her relationship with you, okay? So you wait for her to tell you things like, I really like you, or I really love you, and talking about relationships and anything to do with that bonding and connection and romantic side of things, okay? Your goal on the date is to keep that emotional self-control by not saying anything like that until she says it first, and to just focus on having a good time on the date. Okay, so just focus on getting her to laugh, having a good time, having great talk, having great, a great fun experience together when you're on the date, and just being silly and fun and goofy and just having a great time, getting her to laugh and open up. And obviously you want to get to know her too, so you ask her questions that she would enjoy answering. That's one of those famous sort of things that Dale Carnegie talks about in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. The best way you can get someone to like you is to get them to talk about things that they like, okay? So that's why it's important that when you're talking to a woman, ask her things that she would enjoy answering, okay? And one of the best ways that you can discover that is, first of all, if you've met her on a dating app, then there's probably a bunch of stuff that she says that she likes on the dating app. So it could be that she has a pet. You can ask her about her pet, because if she's got pictures with her pet and she's mentioned her pet in her bio or something like that, then clearly that's something that's important to her and something that she likes and would probably enjoy talking about. Perhaps she really likes her job, and then you can ask her about her job, especially if she's really passionate about it. Perhaps she has her own side business or something like that, so ask her about that, because obviously that's something that she's probably really passionate about, okay? Maybe you can just notice things about her personality, like let's say when she pulls up, her car is spotless, so obviously she takes care of her car, and she may really like her car, especially maybe if she's got like a tailored license plate or something like that. She obviously cares about her car a lot, so just ask her about her car. Just look at her and observe her and look at her dating profile and just think about what it is that she obviously likes. And it may be as well that she just, tells you stuff that she likes. And if you can tell that she's lighting up when she's talking about these things, then dive more into those. Because if she's lighting up and she sounds like she's really, really excited about talking about it, then that's clearly what she wants to talk about, and she's going to enjoy talking to you if you're getting her to talk about stuff that she likes, okay? And she's going to want to hang out with you more, especially if, as well, you're also having fun, you're getting her to laugh, you're having a good time, and you're just generally just having a blast together, like your new best friends, okay? So focus more on that, okay? Let her bring up, oh, I really like you, and getting like all lovey-dovey. Let her do that first, and then just reciprocate, because you know then that you've done everything right up until that point. If she's giving you, signs that she wants to talk about emotional things, and she's, saying, oh, I really like you, and all these kinds of different things, and she's saying, oh, you're so handsome, oh, I love you so much. If she's saying those things to you, then it's okay to reciprocate, and that you've done things correctly and you haven't done things prematurely. Because one of the things that happen with guys who don't have emotional self-control is they'll start telling a woman that they're in love with them after just the first date. And this kind of makes women back off from guys like that, because she knows that, especially if you met on a dating app and you don't really know her from anywhere else previously, that you've only spent minimal time with each other. You've only spent a couple of hours with each other, and she knows that you shouldn't be in love with her from just by spending 2 hours with her, because you don't know who she is yet. Okay, yes, some aspects, maybe a little bit about her personality that you could have caught on to during those 2 hours, but you don't know what it's like to live with her. You don't know how she reacts when things hit the fan, basically. You don't know what it's like when she's struggling financially. You don't know what it's like how she is when, you know, tragedy happens in her life. She might actually be hell on wheels and you may not even know it. Okay, right? So, and also by doing that as well, it's almost like you're putting her on a pedestal and stuff like that. And women, you know, if you treat a woman like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. Okay, so that's why you don't say things like that after just the first date or the first couple of dates. And why it's a good idea, you know, to just have that emotional self-control and just wait for her to say those things first. And then if you feel the same way, then you can reciprocate. That's what having emotional self-control looks like when you're dating a woman, okay? And you're also not in her DMs 24/7 too. That's another thing that women find unattractive in guys, okay? You know, if you're going to talk to a woman over Messenger, or you're going to call her up and leave her voicemails and stuff, just let it all be to do with arranging meeting up, okay? So, but once you've arranged meeting up and you've arranged a date, there's no reason for you to keep on texting her and messaging you. Yeah, if she reaches out to you, that's fine. You know, you can send a few messages back and forth. If she reaches out to you, you know, and just say, hey, how are you? And you're like, yeah, I'm doing really well, thanks. And, you know, just cut the conversation short by saying, yeah, I can't wait to see you on Saturday or whatever date you've got lined up. Okay, but you just do things sparingly. You don't message her all the time. You don't message her 24/7. You know, it's okay now and again, but not all the time, okay? And that's, again, like what, but the reason why a lot of guys don't do that and they're in their DMs 24/7 is because they don't have that emotional self-control. Okay, they can't help it. They're worried. They're like, oh, I haven't heard from her in a couple of hours. Oh, I hope she still likes me. I better send her a message to see if she still likes me. Oh, I'm so worried she doesn't like. It's no emotional self-control whatsoever, okay? Because a guy who has emotional self-control and is also confident in himself knows that, okay, if I haven't heard from her, it could be that she's just busy, or it could be that she doesn't like me anymore. Either way, I'm not going to let this bother me because I know that I'm going to be okay without her. There's a quote that's something like, goes, confidence isn't, something like confidence isn't about hoping, isn't about like people liking me. Confidence is about being okay even if they don't like me, right? So if you're okay even if she doesn't like you and you know that, then you've got true confidence there, okay? So usually when guys have low emotional self-control and they're reaching out to women all the time, it's because they're just terrified that they're going to lose this woman, even though they may have only spent a couple of hours with her, and they're acting like they're her boyfriend and, you know, acting like they can't live without her, even though they've only spent 5 minutes with her, okay? So emotional self-control, that's what that looks like. So sexual self-control, let's talk about that. So if you're able to resist her more than she is able to resist you, then that shows that you've got sexual self-control. And also another way that you can develop sexual self-control is to not watch pornography anymore and things like that, because that shows a weak, you can't control your urges. If you're watching porn, you can't control your urges. You can't control your sexual urges. Okay, and it's just going to mess with your brain and it's going to make you weaker and weaker and weaker, okay? So you've got to have sexual self-control. So how can you display this then when you're dating a woman? Well, first of all, right, don't be so focused on getting laid, okay? Because if your main goal is to get laid, then you're going to act more desperate. You're going to act more like you have no sexual self-control. Now, of course, getting laid is great. No one can deny that. But you've got to show that self-control, okay? So that's why I say that your main focus on a date should actually just be about having fun and getting her to laugh and just having a great time and just having a blast, okay? And let her bring up the topics of romance and things like that and connection. So when it comes to sexual self-control, then when you're, you know, about to have sex, then what you want to do is you just want to extend the foreplay. If you just can't wait and you've already got your pants down, then, you know, it's going to show her that you have not much sexual self-control, okay? And also another way that you can, so you extend the foreplay, you get to a point where she's wanting sex from you and she may be ripping your clothes off, okay? That's what you want to get. That's how you know you've done things correctly, okay? And how you know you've got sexual self-control. If you've extended the foreplay so much that she's the one, right? She can't resist you anymore, okay? And that's the great place to be. She will never leave you if you're able to do that and develop that skill, okay? And also, so you can show sexual self-control by making sure that your woman and the woman that you're having sex with has an orgasm first before you have your orgasm, okay? That's how you can show that too, okay? So the last thing that we're going to talk about is self-mastery, okay? So a woman's going to notice, okay, if you have self-mastery or not. So And you should be able to tell that in your body language and, you know, and in the way that you behave and the way that you act. So self-mastery is basically where you just don't procrastinate. You know the things that you should be doing and you do them, right? That's what self-mastery is. If you've promised yourself that you're going to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym, and then when, you know, your alarm goes off, you hit snooze, then you haven't got self-mastery. If you say that you're not going to eat chocolate anymore, yet you find at the end of the day you're scoffing your face with chocolate, then you don't have self-mastery. You got to keep the promises that you have to yourself. Okay, that's extremely, extremely important. And that's how you can develop self-mastery. And what's the cool thing here is if you can develop emotional self-control, even if you just develop one of these things, it's much easier for you to develop the other. So if you can have emotional self-control, it's much easier then for you to have self-mastery or sexual self-control. If you have sexual self-control and you can get to a place where she can't resist you more than you can resist her, right, and she just can't help, she just wants to have sex with you, then it's more likely that you can have emotional self-control or self-mastery. And if you have self-mastery, it's more likely that you can have sexual self-control and emotional self-control, okay? But these are all things that you want to develop and be very, very mindful of. So emotional self-control, sexual self-control, and self-mastery. If you can really get a grip on those things, then you will be what every woman desires. Literally that. That's what they want from you, okay? They want that self-control. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. If you would like to, you can go and read my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams, which you can read completely for free on my website. All you have to do is go to www.christineloveridge.com. Link is in the description. Just go to the menu on the page, on the website, and then click on the book, and it'll take you straight there to the PDF reader. You don't have to log in or you don't have to sign up for anything. It's just there for you to read on the website. You can get the physical copy too, and that's another way you can support my channel if you would like to do it in a very low cost effective way, especially if you get the Kindle version, because the physical copy is significantly more money than the Kindle version. And if you do happen to purchase the book, please leave a nice review for me on Amazon, whether it's to do with the book itself or to do with my coaching, and I'll greatly appreciate that. That'll be very, very nice of you to do that. So thank you so much if you do take the time to do that. And also as a gift to my subscribers as well, and for people who've made it all the way to this video, to the end of the video, if you would like a discount off of all my coaching products on my website, including my new course, Dating Basics for Men, then there is a code that you can use at checkout, which is 25 off, okay? So it's the number 25 and then capitals OFF, okay? And if you use that, you'll get 25% off, and this is valid until the 1st of January 2026. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.